Starship One and her reactions to actually seeing The Last Jedi. If you've never heard this segment before, we've done multiple discussions where Starship One, which is a code name for a friend of mine who auditioned for The Last Jedi for the part of Rose, but didn't want her identity revealed in case she said something that was in violation of her non-disclosure agreement for when she auditioned, because as you know, Star Wars is very secretive. Now, more than ever, she doesn't want her identity revealed because of her thoughts on Last Jedi. I, as your objective journalistic reporter, just ask the questions while she gives her opinions on this film. And this is the longest interview we've ever done because, frankly, she was charged and uncharacteristically ready to speak at length about Star Wars The Last Jedi. I will warn you, there are some minor spoilers in this discussion, nothing major about the plot points, or if there are anything discussed about the plot points, they're about things that happen pretty early on, so it's a relatively safe listen. Sit down, buckle up, and punch it, Chewie and the Porg. Well, we're back with one more installment with Starship One, especially since The Last Jedi is out now in theaters. I've seen it. Starship One herself has seen it, and it's time to get her reflection on what she thought of the film. First of all, Starship One, how are you today?
I'm good, Matt. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Let's just get right to it. You would have played the part of Rose. She has quite an extensive action storyline in this film.
I had no idea it was going to be that big of a part, honestly. I thought it was going to be kind of like just a little... like, oh, you turn right here, and, you know, just a little something, a little sprinkled in character. I had no idea that it was action figure status.
Did it hurt any more to see how an extensive a role it is and that she'll likely continue on into Episode 9?
Well, I'm going to tell you this, Matt. I didn't much care for the movie.
Ooh, and is that sour grapes or objective criticism? Okay.
Because I feel if I would have been given the part of Rose, I would have been asked to be cut out because I would have felt my scenes were completely unnecessary. There's nothing, I would have been shooting it and going, what are we doing here? Like, what? Like, there's no reason for us to be here. Like, you guys are spending too much money. Like, I can't even imagine the amount of money they spent on those sets and those special effects and just even paying the actors that were in it. I mean, Benicio del Toro alone must have had, you know, quite a paycheck.
Yeah, I mean, just to fund that stutter that his character has and the vocal coaching that would have needed to have that character choice alone.
It was unnecessary, and honestly, I would have been a little bit shy about promoting it.
And so you wouldn't have done any of the publicity?
No.
I have to say, it was a great joy to watch that film and imagine you, Starship One, in that role, knowing what I know about you and how hopeful and pure and innocent that character is. I just would love to see that version of The Last Jedi.
Well, you know, she did a great job with the role, Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly Marie Tran.
I'm not taking anything away from her.
Yes, she was very good.
The character is an odd character because there's no reason for her. She has no motivation. She's just kind of there to be like this just dead fish that can be flopped around.
You didn't think, well, just minor spoilers right now if you haven't seen the movie, and this is dealt with very early in the film, that just the motivation of avenging her sister's memory, or the fact that she's such a fan of Finn from legendary stories of Force Awakens were enough. And I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just asking you, Starship One, because ultimately you know more about this role than I do.
No, I would have been in the round table readings, and I would have gone, what is this? Why does she need her own adventure? Why? So that John Boyega can have something to do? Send him off alone. Why does he need me? I would have said, you know what? I remove myself from the situation. No hard feelings, But this is crazy. Why not have him go off with like C-3PO or something? Like, why am I there? I would have asked, why am I here every single day? And not in a fun, like, oh my god, why am I here? I'm in Star Wars. I would have been like, why am I here? No one's gonna like this part of the movie. And what happens at the end of the movie, no one's gonna like that either. The choices my character makes are wrong. And I would have had a big problem with what my character does at the end of the movie. I would have gone, you're out of your mind.
You're pretty charged right now.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it got that far where they thought it was necessary to have that plot point in the movie.
Well, when you say they, the sole writing credit on this film is the director, Rian Johnson. How much do you think Disney had their paws in the mix?
I don't know. I don't know what kind of guy he is.
Seems like a nice guy.
I'm sure he's nice. I mean, working-wise, is he someone who can't take notes? Is he someone who maybe bends over too easily when Disney goes, hey, we gotta make it a little more cheesy?
Porg friendly?
Is that what those little
puffins are?
Yeah, those marketing ploys. You know,
marketing porgs.
I am all for a cute animal in a movie. But when it's blatantly put in just to sell a toy, I'm aware.
Do you feel that way about Return of the Jedi and the Ewoks?
No.
You don't?
No. Because it seemed like they were cute and cuddly, but they had a purpose for
That's
being
true.
there.
They were an allegory for the Viet Cong.
Were they?
Yeah.
These were just there. They didn't do anything. They just were there. And so people could go, aw. And I'm aware. You know what, Star Wars? You don't get to mess with this brain because I'm too self-aware to not pick up the shit you're sending my way.
How did you feel when Luke suckled the fourth tit of Loch Nessie?
You know, at that point, it was like, yeah, I guess.
But that's like 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, I guess. If this is where, I think at that point I was going, if this is where this movie's going, then, you know. Oh, the thing is, I know why they didn't cast me, because I would have had too many questions. They needed to cast someone who was just going to take it and go, okay, yes, I'm so happy to be part of Star Wars. I would have every morning come in with a new script, like Robert Downey Jr. on Iron Man, and I would have been a real bummer to be around.
What would you have done differently with that character? What would you have done with Rose to make it more either you or more suitable for what you think this film should have had?
I swear to you, I would have returned my money. And I would have said, you know what, this is for all the fans out there, because they deserve 40 minutes of their lives to not be taken away.
This is a nice change because, you know, every time we've talked to you in the past, you've been very vague and non-committal and you won't say anything. And this time we've got some real fire. You've got a real opinion here.
Because, you know, after all this time, I went in and I auditioned. And to be honest, I didn't think they were going to take a lot from the audition, but they used the same lines that were in the audition.
It sounds like it. I remember the way you described it.
Yeah.
When I saw the movie, it sounded like exactly how you retold it about these people are war profiteers.
Yeah, I had that line. They did not have the line, there is a war coming. That was not in the movie.
But that was in the audition?
Yeah.
And what did you think of the kind of political undertones? Was this a comment on today's society?
What? That rich people are dicks?
Yeah, I mean, this goes all the way back to the Ewoks being the Viet Cong.
I don't know. I mean, I'm confused. When it comes down to it, I'm just confused. I didn't see any political messages. I saw big bunny horses straight out of, you know, Harry Potter, just running through the hills. I can't wrap my head around it.
What would you like to see happen to Rose's character in the next film?
I'm afraid to say it.
Well, I think it's safe at this point. By the way, I'm not disguising your voice this time.
I don't think the character Rose, I do not think is an asset to the Star Wars universe.
The whole universe, huh?
I think the character, as did Jar Jar Binks,
former guest of the show, Ahmed Best,
just didn't fit in the world. Not because their character wasn't important, but because their character wasn't important to the story. There is no reason to have that many people fighting for good.
Well, you kind of got your wish at the end, because now, spoilers, the Resistance is down to just a handful of people at this point.
The handful is... There should be 3 main characters at all time. Then little people sprinkled out into the... There should be Rey, there should be Oscar Isaac, always, Poe, and the third should be... I don't even want to say John Boyega, because I don't know what his character brings. What is his character?
I wasn't sure in this movie, to be honest.
I get it in the first movie. He was a defector of the Starship Trooper armies.
Wait, is that who you belong to?
He was a defector of the Stormtrooper army, and he was trying to come to terms with that. So I'd say Poe, Rey, and honest to God, Adam Driver's character turned.
You mean you want him to turn good?
Turn good and have it be the 3 of them.
Well, who are they fighting at that point?
The pasty boy.
Snoke? Oh, Hux.
Yeah.
You think that's enough of a villain? He's not just
Get a new villain. How about this? How about Rose is the villain?
Okay, let's hear it. I'm listening.
If she's the villain, and she's avenging her dead sister's death because the Resistance killed her, because they didn't take care of their Resistance fighters, because they were careless, just like Oscar Isaac's character was just careless and people were dying, and she went, you know what? No, I'm changing sides. This is bullshit. Yeah, then I'd be on board. I'd be on board if she was avenging her sister's death by being on the dark side.
Would she be like a Jedi, like a dark Jedi? She'd just be Rose, but the main villain?
She'd have to undergo some character changes. She might have to get a scar across the face or something.
But you don't
like
think
that.
she needs some kind of power or anything?
No. What power does she need?
Well, to be a main villain, it feels like she needs to have some kind of force-sensitive...
Well, you know what? The same should be needed to be a main character. She should have some sort of power.
What about Han Solo?
Or objective. You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
Now, I'm just sick of all these... Everyone's got something to... Han Solo wasn't trying to avenge anyone. He was just there. He was pulled along for the ride, and then he got into it. Everyone in these Star Wars movies is like, I have been wronged, and I must go forward. It's like, shut up! Like, isn't there anyone that's just not doing anything, that just needs to get on a ship and, like, blow something up?
So your complaint is that there's too much character development?
No, that there's too much... serious, like, there's not enough playfulness, that no character is just there to be along for the ride and can be a fun character that has its own his or her own objective. You know what I would have loved? If Rose wasn't avenging her sister's death, if she was just like, hey, I'm bored, I want to come along, and also, like, I've got a drug addiction. That's what I would have wanted to see.
What kind of drugs do they have there? Death sticks?
Yeah, just whatever. Yeah, she's like a raver or something like that, and she's always doing things, like, carelessly she's doing things. Just stuff like that. That would have been fun. That would have been a great... You know what? That would have been awesome. If John Boyega was trying to get the secret code breaker, whatever he was doing, and she was, like, messing around at the casino, and he was like, we gotta get... And she was like, no, like, these are my pals, or... That would have been awesome. No. I'm sick of these righteous assholes going, my father died, and I must beat down the rebel forces, or whatever the fuck. Like, honest to God, like, everyone needs to chill out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know what I mean, though?
I guess I'm just sort of like, I can feel the energy in this room, and it's electric. I mean, I have to tell you, that was really something.
Hey! No, Matt. No. No.
Wow.
No.
Thanks for doing this without a vocal filter.
No! I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone. I think it's great that the Star Wars universe continues on. But then again, maybe I don't.
So what do you care then if we reveal your identity?
No, because you know what? It's the mystery at this point. For God's sake, is there no mystery left? Because there's none left in Star Wars.
How about this? Let's make an agreement. If they actually reveal who Rey's parents are, will you come clean?
I thought they said they were like garbage pickers or
I know,
whatever.
but I'm not sure I buy that.
Well, then I'm so sick of it. Why does everyone have to have this magical past to them? There can be one character that's just shit out of luck. That just didn't have, it's just, yeah, I don't know. I was sitting on this bench and the rebellion was walking past and I was like, what are you guys doing? Like, I've got a shady past, but whatever, I'll come with you guys and maybe mess some stuff up for you guys, but still I'm going to be a good time and be fun. My parents, yeah, they're just farmers, they're fine. Like, just chill. My uncle didn't do anything either, neither did my grandparents, and you're not going to find it out later.
But you don't think that these aren't supposed to be based on ancient myths and the hero's journey and that?
But to what? Yes, a couple of them can be, but then to what end? How many more people are going to come out of the woodwork going, oh, I think someone in my family did something. I think I have a power. Like, how many more people?
It's only really been
It's
Luke
everybody.
and Rey.
It's everybody.
Kylo, but
everyone has a parent. Everyone.
Well, but they're all in the same family except for
it's
Rey.
all, yeah, how are they all meeting each other?
Fate.
Oh,
Nothing
give
happens
me
by
a-
luck, in the words of Ben Kenobi.
That's all fine. But at least let me, like in every one of these movies, it's always someone's father. I mean, it used to be just like, Luke, I am your father. Now it's like, Kylo.
So
like,
aren't you
Hans
pleased
is your
then
dad.
that Rey is
Well,
apparently the child of just drunken...
You put it in my head now that because she never saw in the mirror what her parents were. So I don't know.
All she knows from the mirror is that she's in a giant chorus line dance team.
I'm not sure. I'm not positive that her and Kylo Ren aren't brother and sister. Like, I'm not positive that that's not.
That was my theory going on, that Leia was pregnant with Rey right before Han left her, and he never knew, and that she was...
It's just a soap opera. I want a kid. I want the original Star Wars. I want a kid who's doing shit work, who someone comes to them and goes, you need to answer this call, and he goes, I don't want to answer the call. But then you've got Rose coming in, and instead of going, I'm not going to answer the call, he's like, no, let's go. It's like, I don't care about this character if at no point she had any doubt about her abilities. Get out of here. Like, honestly, what kind of character is that? No, let's go. Let's just go. Get out. Leave. I'm done. I'm sick of it. It's too many characters with too much righteousness.
You're sure none of this reaction has anything to do with you not getting cast in this film?
No, because honestly, I would have had such a problem if I was like, I would have been like, what am I doing here? It did not make sense to me, and it was appalling.
Wow. Well.
Anyway, some of the fight scenes were cool.
Well, thanks very much, Starship One. Who knows if we'll check in with you again in the future, but perhaps we'll get some time and perspective on this and see where Rose's character goes in episode 9. Who knows? I don't even know if I'll be doing this podcast then.
Who knows? But I read a Vanity Fair article where they took the same opinion as I did, where they said, take out that entire storyline. So, this isn't just me venting. It's me seeing a problem and trying to correct it through words.
All right. Well, what do you got going on for Christmas?
Not much.
It's been great to talk to you, Starship One.
Thanks so much. Merry Christmas.